it just didn't register in my mind that he would actually leave forever and not come back.
I didn't realize how important she was until she was gone, and I don't think a lot of people realize how important their relatives or who they look up to or anything or anybody is until they actually pass away and you see it and it's real.
My first experience with death would probably be my maternal grandfather. Mom says he's a lot like me, funny, musician, short, and just a comedian.
Last year in particular, there were a couple of deaths in our small community back in Cook, Minnesota, population 600, that, being a small community, really especially impacted the people surrounding the area.
My first real experience was when my brother hit our dog with his dirt bike.
My first experience actually came not till I was like a teenager. It was a cat of mine.
It happened out in our front yard. He was going up and down the driveway and he came back really fast and ran into him. I was inside with my parents and my brother was outside with some friends, and we just kind of heard this really loud crash, and my brother kind of came in panicking, and we went out and found out what happened.
It was a lawn back when I was maybe 4 years old. My grandfather, Malcolm, my mom's dad, he unfortunately passed away from colon cancer. I didn't really take it that seriously because I wasn't really expecting to already lose my grandpa at that time.
I was 3 or 4. He died of pancreatic cancer. He was very young. His name was, fun fact, Sven Ragnar. Swedish. He was a really cool guy.
My first experience with death was my grandma. March 11th, 2013 at 8:23 p.m. My entire family had gathered around her bed. She had been sleeping for over a day, and the doctors kind of told us that it was going to happen, the time was coming. And after everyone had dinner, I went over there and I started talking to her and like holding her hand. And she started breathing irregularly, and I went and got my whole family. I was telling my parents, I was like, you guys, she's breathing different. And they kind of pushed me away. They're like, no, she's not. And then my older cousin came over and was like, you guys, she is. And we all gathered around, and within a couple minutes she took her last breath, and that was it.
I had a cat named Figaro. We named him after the cat from Pinocchio. And we've had this cat a long time, since I was 2. And the cat we had a great personality, was very lovable, didn't hurt a fly at all. He was really part of the family. And then a few years before he died, he got diagnosed with diabetes. One day, we couldn't find my cat at all. We thought maybe he was hiding or something. We looked for him for hours. We didn't know what happened to him. And finally, my mom found him like in a corner, and he was just like lying there, passed out. He looked very weak. We've never seen him like this before. We knew something was really wrong.
For them to pass at such an early age really impacted us at the high school. It really showed us just how vulnerable we are, whereas we feel invulnerable and young.
At first it really shocked me, because I went outside with my family and I saw our dog just kind of laying there, and you could tell he wasn't breathing right and didn't look right. And my dad took him in the truck and just brought him straight into the vet, which he ended up dying at the vet then.
That was really the first time I really experienced what death was. And also, I think what bothered me more than anything is I didn't really get to say goodbye, really.
At first I just kind of wanted to make everyone feel better.
I wish I would have known my grandpa better.
Immediately, I was just kind of trying to comfort everyone and trying to hold myself together. A lot of my cousins took it really hard, and I just kind of was more in shock and just internally took it.
I've actually learned more about him in the later years after his death from my mom that he was really into farming and a big Elvis fan, so he would have been a great guy to be around.
And it kind of sounds silly, but in a way, kind of part of you kind of goes with the animal when they die.
I got 2 parts of it. Mom said that he's always here with us in our hearts and all around us, because we have faith. But my aunt, who doesn't just said he's gone and you'll never meet him. So I guess for 3 or 4-year-olds, kind of conflicting because either he's here or he's not here. Which one is it?
Over time, I've taken it as a life lesson to like live a strong life, live better, live for her. And a lot of times when like things get rough or things are great, like I thank her, I look at her, I do it for her, and I like keep her in my life a lot that way.
Definitely a sense of loss.
Limbo. In limbo.
It's kind of like more of a different kind of a movie ending. So sometimes death comes when you expect it. Other times it comes when you don't expect it.
The conclusion here on this earth.
I mean, life